Guys, what's going on? How's everyone doing today? Sorry about the delay. I was supposed to start about 10 minutes ago, but my streaming software was acting up, so it forced me to restart and reset my device, which is fine. We are here. Hopefully, everyone is doing well. I know there's fights on right now. The Savages in the JSB Discord are keeping me up to date. I don't have any action on the fights that are going on now, but there are fights happening tonight in Japan. If you check my Instagram, if you're in our Patreon, if you're in the Discord, even just publicly on YouTube, I gave you guys a double. It's a half unit free game double parlay if you're feeling froggy for the fights tonight in Japan. This live stream is our weekly recap rundown of this weekend's past fights. It is Monday, April 13th, 10:11 a.m. in the morning here in Sydney, Australia. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Hopefully everyone is up. We had a massive weekend. We're going to go over that today. I'm going to take your questions. We're going to talk about our wins. We're going to talk about, the fights that we saw in the UK, the fights that we saw in the States. There were the Japanese fights. There were a lot of fights. Australia seemed like it was 2 months ago. So all in all, we hit eight tickets. We're going to go over that. Guys, I want to shout out our community. I want to shout out the JSB Discord. It's awesome. We're approaching 500 VIPs in there. If you're not a member on YouTube, if you're not a Patreon, click the link that's pinned right there. I'm going to keep it pinned in the chat. You get more access to myself on social media. You get more access to all of my slips, betting, picks. We're not just picking winners. So you guys know that on the channel, we're not just live streaming every day, and I don't just tell you, I show you. What's that phrase from the 90s movie? I'm dating myself. Jerry Maguire, show me the money. You guys see. You don't just hear what I'm doing with my picks. I'm showing you my tickets, whether they win or lose. You know that we all have skin in the game together. I think that's important. All right, let's get into this. As you guys are tapping in, just like the video, and let's get into this. So we're gonna go over what happened. Okay, we'll start here. This is our, this is our dog. So our dog of the week hit in the UFC. I didn't give you guys a boxing dog this week, but this makes it 9 weeks in a row that either a boxing or an MMA underdog hit. Cub Swanson at plus 101. We thought that was a steal. He went out there on his retirement fight and looked absolutely amazing, steamrolling the train, Nate Landwehr. So that's one ticket. 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. Our long parlay hit plus 351. If you're keeping track at home, if you're keeping score at home, I know some of you guys do this, which is cool. That's 2 weeks in a row, our long parlay hit. That's 20 money line bets in a row. We up. So that's our long parlay. So our dog of the week hit, our long parlay hit. And guys, if you're new to the channel, all of our JSB insiders, all the VIPs, they get these tickets before the fight, okay? So I'm posting them. You're seeing my action. I'm not telling you to play my action. These are my winning tickets. I bet on these. You see who I bet on. And then it's up to you if you want to listen. You don't have to listen. I don't advise you to listen to anybody. Listen to yourself. You could use this as sort of a tool and make what you will of it. Okay, moving forward. This let me read this. This was our weekend in a nutshell. And this is another thing that, shout out to our Discord. A couple weeks ago, one of the boys in the Discord gave me this idea on full transparency. He was like, Johnny, you post all your tickets, which is fine. He was like, I think it was Rando. It was either Rando Light or Randy. He was like, why, just write it down too. So, if anybody ever wants the receipts of the tickets before the fights happen, the winners, the losers, they're all up on my Instagram wall. They're also up on my wall on YouTube, okay? Now, for the VIPs, to make this clear, I'm not going to say this anymore. If you're not a VIP on YouTube, you're only seeing my winning tickets because you're not in our group. If you were in our group on YouTube, you would see the tickets before the fights start, but they're behind a paywall. Just so you know, he only posts his winning tickets. No, you see all my tickets. It's just that if you're not part of our team, you're not seeing them before the fights start. So I did launch last week a free game section, so I'm going to do that moving forward. Just sort of like these fights that'll take place that either came on my sports book a little later. They just appeared. And so, I'm seeing the action. I've done film study. I really didn't talk about it on the live stream. So I just give it to everybody. You'll see these on my Instagram story. You'll see these on my YouTube wall. You'll see these posted in the Patreon. So from moving forward, this is the free game. So our first ticket we hit was the Aussie in play, and that was Liam Talava'a by knockout. That was after our double got cooked in Australia. So if you're in the Discord, if you're VIP, you would have known this. This is another benefit of becoming part of our community. The knockout prop hit. We hit a free game Pro Box double plus 251, and we'll get into it. The free game Montreal double plus 172. Our UK knockout prop, Richard Riokpo by knockout, was our fourth ticket. Our UK points prop, Tyson Fury on points, was our fifth ticket. The sixth ticket was Cub Swanson dog of the week. Our safety net parlay, our 10 long length parlay. All of these hit. I gave you guys, everybody who were in our group saw these tickets before the fight started. You saw my action. I have to reiterate this because I don't know how other people run their Discord. I don't pay attention to how other people run their YouTube channels. Or I didn't realize people are charging people $50, $60, $70 to be part of their Discord. So be it. That's not my business. I'm not here to pocket watch people. I don't care what other people are doing. This is a secret to life. Whenever you're building something, a passion project, you're focused on something, you're not comparing yourself to other people. Comparison is the thief of joy. I'm locked in, switched on about what I'm doing, what our community is doing. But people have commented, and they're commenting over and over week to week, and it's just sometimes I have to address these things. If you're in our community, guys, you see, and the boys know, they're getting all the tickets before the fights happen. We're not just doing these live streams after the fights happen, and I'm telling you, I put $50,000 on this fight. I told you. It's like, no, you're seeing the tickets. Okay, I think that's important. I think that's why we're growing, why our community is so educated, is because we're learning full transparency. And what we also stopped in our Discord is at the end of it's fun to post our winning tickets at the end of the fights, but now if you're not posting your tickets beforehand, we don't want to see them. I think that's fair. And I had to learn this from you guys. I didn't realize because I've never been in a Discord before. Early days, you guys were like, "Hey, if you're gonna post the winning ticket, we better see that shit prior." And so now, as a community, everybody knows that. I don't care if you hit a draw. If you did you say you were gonna bet the draw before the fight? Now, if you said you were gonna bet the draw before the fight and you picked that at 17-1, then we're gonna give you flowers. But if you're just picking a draw, you hopefully, and then when it hits, you post it. We don't care. We don't care because as a team, we didn't learn anything. As a group, we didn't gain any knowledge. So this is, and when you guys compliment me, I don't like compliments. What do I always say? It's about the community. We're literally all in it together, and that's what these tickets are, and that's what we're doing here. You guys are seeing them before they hit the streets. All right, and for all the newbies, these are the winners. So this is from my sports bet account, and you can see the dates, all the date. Like this is what we do. My best play, in my opinion, was this one. Tyson Fury on points at plus 375. I placed that bet Thursday, April 9th at 9:03 a.m. So you're getting my reads, you're getting my breakdowns, but we're also doing it together. I think that's important, and I don't want to talk too much about this. We're 10 minutes in. If you guys if I helped you in any way, you could tip the bartender, whatever you want to call it. You could join our Discord. You could super chat us, whatever you want to do. Just like the video. I appreciate however you want to support. I'm going to start taking questions now. Manny, we're not going to talk about the fights yet. What's up, Pepino? How are you, brother? The midnight train got it done, man. We knew it. We talked about it, you know. And if you were in our Discord, you would have been stressed out. There were people in our Discord, and this is why this is kind of what I do. Just so I know, we got a lot of newer, you know, new members. I mean, well, put it this way, guys. On March 20, this is on March 26th. We got in the last 2 weeks, we've increased by 22% of VIPs. So that's just in the last 2 weeks. There's been a 22% growth. So we're getting a lot of newbies and they're understanding the game. What I would suggest, once your bets are already in, this is what I do regarding my interaction in our Discord. In this Midnight Train Richard Reactpo TKV fight is a perfect example to talk about this. If you were in our Discord all week last week, you would have seen so many people taking TKV. And that's fine. We don't want the last thing we want is all of us to agree on everything. We just want the conversation, the educated chat. We want the debate done right. And sometimes though, it can become a little bit too much when there's so much discourse. So I kind of tap out of it. Once my bet is placed and my boots are dug in, then there's no reason for me to debate anybody. I don't need to then prove why I chose somebody. You know what I mean? So I stop. I'll debate Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll go back and forth in the Discord with the boys Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday. If I feel somebody has a different lean, and you guys know my behavior in there. You guys can attest to this. And I'll go back and forth and I'll share tape and I'll say, hey, I like this view. But by Thursday, and the fights might be on Sunday, Australian time, I stopped doing that because it just leads to stress and anxiety, you know. But I think it's important Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to debate because a lot of times I forget who it was in our Discord and shout out, and I apologize if I forgot your name, but you were the reason, somebody was the reason that made me change a ticket for the better, and I'll show you. Okay, so we hit the free game double on. We look what we did. We hit Beerslanov and Iglesias. Oh, that was our safety net. Cub Swanson, Reactpo by knockout, long parlay. We literally hit everything, excluding the El Gallo fight in Japan, the Estrada fight. Estrada lost, and then for the next 48 hours we hit every bet. Fucking insane. So once Estrada lost, after that loss, we hit everything. We hit all the fights in Montreal. We hit all the Pro Box fights on both cards that we bet on. We hit everything in the UK with receipts. So what I was saying was, on a live stream, I was actually going to take Luis Santana by stoppage against Chan Thompson. Or it was Francisco Veron. I was going to take Veron by stoppage against Raul Garcia. And then in our Discord, I was going back and forth, and we were doing film study. And I was like, you know what? Garcia gets hit a lot. He does get hit a lot. Veron, and I changed my pick before I made it official. I hadn't made it official. I might have said on the live stream I like Veron by knockout. But if you don't see my ticket, that's not my official pick. My official pick is only when you see the ticket. So, and it was shout out to the chat because I then changed Veron by knockout to Veron on points at $1.69 and parlayed that with Conceição on points, and we smashed a plus 251. And then the Santana on points and obviously Iglesias by knockout plus 172. And then the Liam Talava got our week off to the right track by knockout. And this one hit in the Discord as well. We were live betting. And that's when I was like, it was a bit of a chase because the first end of a double got burned, and I still like Liam by knockout. So that's that. And that's what's up. Hopefully you guys hit. JSI, sup boys. The midnight train. Oh yeah, and so if you would have been paying, what I suggest, because I know some of the boys could get stressed out throughout the week with the disagreement. I only suggest to believe in your game, stand on your business, and once your bet is made, if it's stressing you out, don't tap into the Discord then. Maybe use the Discord as an educative tool first, and then entertainment second. So 7 months in, this is what I realized what we are. The JSB Discord at our best is an educated tool on how to bet, the strategy of betting, and how to win. Okay? That should be the number one usage. The number two usage is the entertainment side because it's fun in there during fights. So you guys have to learn to compartmentalize the two. So I'm usually, this time of week, we are in our film, we're doing our recap now. But after I end this live stream, from today until tomorrow, and probably the first part of Wednesday, we're in our film study research phase. So when you look in the Discord, you're going to see a lot of the film study being shared, a lot of people picking each other's brains. I'll start kind of finding my leans through questions in my own film study. And then we go from our film study phase to kind of the debate phase, the open discourse. All right, you like this, but I don't know, man. I think he's going to win by knockout. And then you go from, I call it the action phase. You start seeing my tickets. Once you start seeing my tickets, those are my official picks. From there, I'm no longer debating anybody in the Discord, because why second guess? The second guessing of your picks should happen before you place them. Keep that in mind. You took Fury on decision too. That was a great tip, and that was stressful. You guys ask me every week, Johnny, what are you most comfortable with? What do I always tell you? Nothing. I'm never comfortable with any pick. And so that was super stressful. Anytime we take a fighter to win on points, shout out to my boy Tommy Ranon. Tommy gave me this little tidbit of information once. He goes, Johnny, if you're taking the distance, if you're taking points, don't sit there and watch every punch. He was like, I don't sit there and take every punch. He was like, I'm going to go do the dishes. I'm going to run to the store. And that's what I did during the Fury fight. I watched the first few rounds because that's when it's dicey. Those first few rounds of the Fury fight, I was like, if Makhmedov could get through those waters 1 through 3, I think we're going to go the distance. And so after rounds 1 through 3, I went and started cleaning, and I came back around the 9th. And then it was still going. I was like, all right, now we just got to get through like cuts. Hopefully there's no cuts, which there wasn't. We got to get through, is anybody gassing out, getting hit too much, which it wasn't. So it was a stressful pick, but that was the one I was most impressed with on myself. Every week, you guys should dissect your wins and your losses. And that was my best win. The worst read was hands down Estrada. And I wrote about that. If you read my write, I give you guys my worst read every week as well. Hi, Johnny. Looking for so am I. What's up, Mervin, man? Appreciate you. I've already given you a double. So check your books. If you have the fights, those are for tonight. But the rest of the week is jam-packed. Not a lot of massive names on the fights this coming week, but there's a lot of action. You know what we're going to do, what we always do. We're going to make it do what it do, baby. We're going to find our victories. King, it hit my 5-leg, Rigpo, nice, Connor Ben, Tyson Fury, Arthur, Beerslove, beautiful. And the only play I had, so I'll go through this with you. So thank you for sharing with us. I played Ryakpo on the money line and Ryakpo by knockout on 2 separate tickets, so I was a little stressed, but he came through. Connor Ben, I only played one way. I played him on the money line. You saw Connor Ben on our long parlay. Tyson Fury, I played 3 times, which, I have to be pretty in overtime, since as long as you guys are with me. When you're looking at my tickets, it's something to look at. The more I play a guy, he appears more, the more comfortable I am with that guy. So I hit Fury on our long parlay money line. I hit Fury on our safety net parlay money line and the Fury points. Arthur Beerslanov, I played him once on the money line. And then Justice Hooney, I played Justice twice. And those scorecards were insane. Shout out to Big Phrase, though, man. Phrase box way better than I thought he was. Phrase was in shape, dude. People only are going to talk about the winners, and Justice fought just how I thought he would fight, and he had to dig deep. Justice around the 9th or 10th round showed me another level that I'm glad that he got to show everybody else. You guys already know how I rate Justice. I think he's a top 10 heavyweight. He just does things in there that a lot of heavyweights can't do. And I don't think the average fan could appreciate it unless you see him in real life to see how big he is doing these things. Fraser Clark came in shape. He looked great physicality wise. He just didn't have that second gear. He didn't have enough. And I had Justice on 2 parlays. I had him money line on both. Justice Huni on our long parlay and our safety net parlay. Good hit. The train on the knockout. Yeah, I don't ever want to say it was an easy pick. I don't ever want to say any pick is an easy pick. None of this shit is easy. This shit is hard. So if you're out there winning consistently, man, shout out to you. And our receipts speak for themselves, but we put a lot of time into this. You know what I'm saying? We put a lot of energy into this. This is becoming our full-time thing. You know what I mean? Like I was telling the boys in the telling the chat last week. I talk to you guys more than I talk to anybody else, excluding my clients and my girl. So there's a reason why we win so much. Results are an outcome of effort. And it's not just me, it's our community, man. You could go into if you go into our Discord right now, though I guarantee there'll be at least 40, 50 people in there. There's 40 people in there right now, 44 people right now talking about it. I guess there's fights going on. Rando lights up, Cordova. So the boys are invested. Everybody puts a lot of time into this. What's King saying? What's up, Johnny? Great weekend. Made some good bankroll. Made some today on the NBA. Please, my childhood friend, former NFL. I know Chris Payton Jones. He played in Nebraska. 2007, maybe? Did he pass away? Oh, shit. I didn't read the right. Chris Payton died. Wow. Damn, bro. That's a bummer. I didn't know that. I know he's a Cornhusker, though. Pretty sure he played in Nebraska. I grew up playing football. I played quarterback from the time I was 7 until graduated. Played outside linebacker. Grew up in Northeast Ohio. I'm a diehard Ohio State Buckeye fan. Diehard Cleveland Brown fan. Chris Payton Jones played in the league, didn't he? People sleep on that Nebraska Cornhusker program. In the 90s with Tommy Frazier, when people try to talk about the best, quarterbacks of all time in college, people always forget about Tommy Frazier. All you young bucks, do your homework and go watch a highlight reel of Tommy Frazier when he was in Nebraska. Dude, the Cornhuskers at one time, man, when they had, I think the coach was what? Coach Osborne, I think in the 90s, boy, that was a freaking powerhouse. Rest in peace to Chris Payton Jones, man, and prayers up to him and his family. Sorry for your loss too, King. Your boxing Discord is phenomenal. I can't get my head around it. There's some Rob Palmer, we appreciate you. You're an element of our Discord. It's our Discord. I just run it. I'm just the purveyor. I moderate it. You know what it is we go out of our way to keep the trolls out by keeping the conversation elevated. This is a life skill. This is a tip on being successful in any area of your life. You got to moderate the conversation, whether it's the negative talk in your own head, if it's the toxic chat in your group of friends. You got to put yourself around educated conversation. People don't really talk about it, but it's really important in terms of the overall sort of just success of whatever you do in life. The words we speak, the words we think, they affects what happens with whatever we're dealing with. So it's something I've had to learn because when we launched the Discord in August, I was like, these boys are paying like $7 a month, $1.50 a week. This is full transparency. So from August, September, the first 2 months, I was like, they're paying to be here. They don't know me. They're paying to be here. So who am I to censor what they say, right? So the first 2 months, I sat back and I watched the environment, and I got to be honest, without me moderating it, man, there are some assholes in the world. Not in our group, but they were in the group, but they're not there anymore because you have to kick people out. It is wild to see the toxic conversations and how reckless people will speak to each other behind a keyboard. So then I was like, reached out to, a mentor of mine, really successful businessman. He was like, no, you gotta He's like, you got to moderate that. He was like, you need to make the chat congruent with how you want to speak. And I was like, all right, how do we do that? He was like, you have to not care about kicking people out for the sake of the health of the chat. And that's what we've done. And so since then, when you go into the chat, people, it's very educated. That's by choice because it's about the community. It's not anything. It's about the boxing community. We have fighters in there. We have coaches in there. We have fans in there. We have mothers in there. We have sisters in there. It's comprised by people. The common ground is the sport. People only show their two winning tickets, but yeah. Well, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. I think it's healthy for all. If you're going to share the winners, at least share it before the fights. And that's something our group is doing really well. I learned this from our group, though. These aren't my philosophies. I'm learning as we're going. Boxing was my first love, but this whole other side, the betting side, the strategy of it, the ethics of it, the social network ethics, I'm learning, and it makes a lot of sense. I don't care if you hit a draw of 17-1. If you didn't show me it, I don't care. Before that didn't make sense to me. Before I'd be like, because you could sprinkle here and here, and what was happening in our Discord is I noticed over the growth of it. There's certain actors who have their own channels who were trying to position themselves as experts, which is fine. If I welcome that. I told you guys you could. It's a networking spot too, but if you're manicuring your own bets to then falsely put yourself in this hierarchy to position yourself as an expert, I got no time for that. That's not what we're all about. Cub Hokit dogs. Whoever hit on Hokit, man, shout out. I didn't bet the fight, but it was one of the best from a fan perspective, from a grit, from a heart. And shout out to Curtis Blades because that man is tough. Hokit is tough. I don't know if both ended up at the hospital. I assume they probably did. They went after it. Hokit showed you the game plan for how you got to go after these big heavyweights. Show them no respect and fight them on the front foot. Savage, dude. I saw a mix of like Stone Cold Steve Austin with Hokit, a mix of Cain Velasquez, a mix of Stipe Miocic, a splash of Nate Diaz, all rolled into one. It was crazy. And Curtis Blades is a dog for both guys, man. So I didn't take any action on Hokit. You guys know I took Cub. If you paired both of those together, man, Rob Lee, what do they call you, Rob? They call you skills. They call you skills, brother. You got skills, brother. Makhmudov came out, guns blazing on Tyson Fury. Yeah, he threw that bit. Makhmudov's style was so, like, it's one of the reasons I like Tyson on points. We knew about the evidence. 15, 16 months out of the ring, not a one-punch guy. The fight's in the UK. Anthony Joshua's probably going to be there. Tyson's probably going to want to get rounds in. And then Makhmudov throws like 4 punches around. He hides his lead hand, throws the overhead, and then he hugs. I was like, I could see this happening for the whole fight. I just hope Tyson does. And Tyson got clipped early. Tyson was the best play Sammy. Nice. And it's all good, it's all good, self-made. It's not. I don't think any pick is stupid. I don't. If we're in it, like even if we're disagreeing, just being in the same chat disagreeing, you can't call any pick stupid just because it didn't. It wasn't a stupid pick. TKV had a path. He did have a path. It was to get on the inside, and so it just depends on what you like. And you obviously liked his chances of getting on the inside, and a lot of people did. It wasn't just you, bro. It wasn't just you, mate. I knew a lot of people jumping on the TKV bandwagon. I've been getting asked a lot about this fight. This fight goes down in 2 weeks. So, Alex, appreciate you, Poblano. The longer you're on my channel, the more we work from a week-to-week basis. We got to stay switched on week to week. So I'm not going to talk about Perro versus Miller until next week. But I got one of my boys who are in our group. He knows the coach. He told me to look into it. People have been asking me. We got time. We have fights tonight. There's fights in 2 days. So many fights to get into. We'll get into it. Randall, what's up, John? I took Ari money line, Armando by knockout. Yeah, I think I saw you in the Discord, Rando. You were up. Yeah, Rando Light. 3-way. You 100. Let's go, man. Plus 270. All the boys are in. Win Santiago is always hitting. So they got Rikishi. The boys are just on a heater. Dude, the whole chat is on a heater. Great start to the week. Easy money. I'm just reading the chat. Good stuff, Rando. I'm with you. I got Cordova as well. So I got skin in the game. You already saw my tickets. I'm going to get to these super chats. I see a bunch of them. Appreciate the super chats. If you're winning, tip me however you want, whether it's a like on the video, whether it's a super chat. If you're not in our Discord, the link is pinned. We are on fire since January 1. I mean, I referenced January 1 because I feel as a team we had an important conversation. You could go to that live stream. It was January 2nd in Sydney, January 1. It's on the channel. And I talked about it. I said it was after a bad loss. I forget which fight it was. It was a bad loss on my end. And I did some soul searching. And I was like, we're gonna cut. This year is gonna be amazing. This year is gonna be the best year. I'm going to add value for the team. And since then, the whole we're in April now. This is no longer called a heater. We can't just call it. This is just what we do now, week to week. Man, I don't get how people are going for TKB. Stats don't lie. Boots for Duggan as well. You know what I'm talking about, King. Though you were in that Discord. You know how people were debating. You should be proud. What I appreciate you, Rob. I'm just happy that we're doing it together. My boy, boxing fan. You gotta explain to me your system with the baseball. I don't like guys. We have a baseball Discord in there. And boxing fan, I don't know if you checked it out yet, or if you're in there. But I saw you posted on your Instagram story. I'm a novice when it comes to other sports strategies, but we need to chat because I see you're doing something, getting crazy odds. That sneaky pick ended up in a headbutt. Uh yeah, that was the Suboy. Suboy was gonna win that fight. So my book gave. I think you're talking about the Suboy technical draw. And then I know some of you guys, your books didn't repay you. My book repaid me. This is a great question. I want to talk about this. I was talking to my boy Nick from Breaking Bad about this on the phone. Keezy goes, "What do you think about Tension? Looks like he's improving a lot. If he can win some belts, he can be bro." Here's what I got to talk about. Tension Nasukawa, that version of him, obviously the performance, it was his best performance, but everything about him, what he looked like, the physicality, the confidence, that's the confidence that we saw in kickboxing. I think it was Ryzen or One Championship. That was the confidence that made him like a Japanese superstar every fight. That was kind of missing in his boxing, that confidence, that the posturing. But what also happened was he toned back the arrogance and tightened up the technique. And this guy, even his body, man, I don't know if it's because he's just now, 27 now, growing into his man body. He looked like a different animal. We know about the world-class speed, but it was his punch selection, ferocity, his ability to slip, his ability not to get touched. He shut everything down, dude. Everything Estrada was trying to do, he shut it down. He looked amazing. I got to be honest. So, if that's the version of him, if that's who he is, and this isn't shade. I feel in this day and age of our sport, we should mention this. If the urine tests come back clean, the urinalysis, because like how that kid looked like a different version. He looked like a 5X version. Was he able to just level up that much? He looked amazing. And hope and hope to God, he did it. He's doing it the right way. But it just made me like when I saw Frankie Rod versus Galal Yafai, the first thing I thought of was like, this guy looks way different. Frankie, we see it in Frankie Rod pop dirty. So I'm not, by no means am I tarnishing Tension's victory, and I'm not saying it's just the nihilist in me, the lifelong boxing fan in me that have seen this happen before. Sometimes I think of the worst, but that version of Tenshin Nasukawa, that dude is a freaking nightmare. What a weekend last weekend, King. A lot better on Fury fight. Who did he fight? Nice live bet. Paulo was a dog. No shit. Good pick. You boys are getting up. Dude, light heavyweight Paulo was different. He looked amazing. He shut the undefeated Russian down. The leg kicks, not letting the Russian bully him. Paulo, man. Switched on Paulo. Let's go. Light heavyweight Paulo. Let's go. We got a little super chat popping through. The big fella. My guy Carlos Alberg got it done. Johnny and new. Also, that Fury decision pick was nice. Makhmadov had me sweating. Yes. I was sweating the tank. Sweating the tank. Yeah, Alberg, man. Look, I'm not here to dispel anybody what they say. I do want to comment on what Yuri Prohaska said, and I'm a Yuri guy, even though I won money on Alberg too. I didn't share it because I didn't, I won, but I didn't put it on social media. I took Carlos Alberg too. I got him at plus 190. Full transparency, 185. So I hit call. I had skin in the game. I just didn't share that. I didn't put that out there. Prohaska said he felt sorry for Alberg and he took his foot off the gas because he was showing empathy. Bro, you were low kicking his injured leg. What are you talking about? That was such a bullshit excuse. I lost. This is just me. Call me petty. I actually lost a lot of respect for Prohaska for what he said after. I couldn't believe he said that. I showed mercy. What are you talking about? You saw his leg was hurt, and you probably kicked him with 5 low kicks after that? And that's showing him mercy? Come on, bro. You got caught with a hook. You got caught like you do with your hands down your chin here and talk about it was like he would have been better off catching it here. This one, at least you have more. This one, there's nothing blocking it. Boom. Makhmadov have such a horrible Fs. We also didn't understand the majority decision with the Huni fight. I thought he dominated. Yeah, 97-93. Shout out to Big Phrase. Phrase is good. I didn't expect. Phrase was making me sweat. Because I was like, oh shit, he looks ready. I wasn't expecting that. New coach. Body looked different. He looked good. Fraser Clark looked good. It's just Justice Hooney's really good. And those body rips. How many heavyweights are we watching slipping backhands and then hitting backhand side counters to the liver? Like what, dude? Do you realize how risky that shit is? Dude, he's slipping his power side. Like, ortho versus power side. He's slipping just to rip the liver. Dude, and Hooney had me sweating because he was doing that shit. There's a counter there where he could have got his lights put out against a guy like Phrase. But you could just see Hooney. You could see the thousands of hours, Hooney's lifelong preparation in those techniques. You could just see the hours and hours in the gym. He's not even thinking to do it. He's just going off of drilling. Boom. Like everything in his movement. His elusiveness in that last round against the ropes, going in and out. Dude, he takes a lot of shit because the one lot he could easily be the world champion. He was 4.5 minutes away from being a world champion, undefeated world champion. It just shows you the greatest sport on earth, though, boy. You can't have one fraction in the heavyweight division, one mental lapse, one slip up. All right, I'm tired of this. This Alex Poblano, no shade to you. I'm seeing this going around in boxing groups. UK fighters are not like that. Whoever started this whole international beef about whatever a fighter from a different part of the world, dude, these are all pro boxers, mate. Guys who are getting into the ring. The idea, there's savages anywhere in the world you go to. Just like there's hot women anywhere you go to the world. Just like there's assholes anywhere you go in the world. Just like there's pussies who can't fight anywhere in the world. The idea of saying that UK fighters are I guess for me personally, I don't like generalizations in anything. So that probably just is why that kind of I don't like that. And I'm hearing it a lot. UK fighters, I can't. I'm like, dude, shut up, dude. These guys are all fighters. Clark did look better than I've ever seen him. Bro, he looked good, man. He came in prepared, boy. His physique looked good. Yes, sir. He played in the league 6 years. If it, R.I.P. There's also yeah, we in our Discord. It's not just boxing, MMA. It's baseball, basketball, NHL, MMA, soccer. Yeah, there's savages. There's savages in all of them. There's sharps in all of them. Eric Crouch, ball player. Randall Light with the super chat. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. Guys, could you like this stream? I know there's fights on. If you guys had action, hopefully you won. Mosby, $5 super chat. You a beast. You a beast. Between Osley and Adamas, who would I pick? I would take Adamas. I like Osley, in my opinion, as a great uppercut. Osley gets away with a lot of things because he's athletic and he can punch. That'd be a fun fight. I mean, Osley's height and reach could give Adamas a lot of fits. I didn't see the Vernon Sosa in the Discord. No, I put it. Well, yeah, I did. I put it in real time, and I posted on Instagram. Kevin, appreciate your time and effort. There's more fights there's fights today, Kevin. There's fights today. Peace out, Johnny. Get your workout in. Tension, a special fighter. He's coming off his first laugh ever. Yeah, he is special. Man, I took Dwight on yeah, I didn't bet that fight. You guys were asking me about the Dwight Fleming's fight versus the Olympian. I didn't play it. Guys, I tell you this all the time. The best bet we can make is the one we don't make. It's not always about picking winners. It's knowing which fights to avoid. You know what I'm saying? I told you guys all week, William Foster III, avoid that fight. Don't bet on this kid. He's fighting a tough Philly kid who is connected with Jerron Ennis's camp. I always see him on YSN. If you guys are watching, their YouTube channel, I just didn't bet it. In William Foster III, if you watch his tape, historically, he's a kid who just fights down to his opponents, and just certain levels. I'm not saying he can't do good things in the sport. From a betting perspective, I don't bet on him. And then the Dwight Fleming's fight, same sort of thing. It was a 50-50 fight. He's the B side. The promotional sort of like A side was the Olympian. So I didn't bet the fight. I got a lot of messages about it, though. Shout out to the newest JSB insider, Malik9856. Malik, the link to the Discord is in the members section on YouTube. So go to my channel, go to posts, scroll down slightly. You'll see the winning ticket, and then you'll see the Discord link. I'm in the Major League Discord. All right, I'm going to tap in. Yeah, I'm tapping in. I'm tapping. Baseball's my sport. Baseball's my sport. Baseball paid for my college. Baseball's my sport. Yeah, Dalton Smith. Dude, they're serious. See, this is my point. There's serious fighters anywhere in the world. It's the fight game, dude. It's the best sport in the world. You just need these. You need two fists. To say that fighters from a specific area of the world can't fight is an insane, incredulous statement about our sport. It is actually a disrespect to our sport to say fighters from a certain you know what I'm saying? Unless you're just prejudiced towards that part of the world, and that happens in our sport. I mean, go to a Reddit boxing thread after a Terrence Crawford versus Canelo fight. You'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see what I'm talking about. Or a Tank versus Pitbull fight. You'll see that we don't. I don't put up with any of that in our Discord. What are we doing? Boss Christos, morning, Johnny. Thanks for the hard work. It's definitely paying off for sure. Been an insider since the start of the year. Best decision I made. Thoughts on? Appreciate you, Christos. Yeah, that's we've seen a lot of growth since January. So full transparency, Christos, I posted this on our Patreon. I posted this on YouTube, and I have a free game double. I'll just share it right now since you asked. I had to use Bet365. So if you're in Australia like me, my normal book, sports bet, they didn't have these fights, but Bet365 does. And so here's my action. And these fights go down in a few hours. So I'm taking my boy Rikishi by knockout. So I did a knockout prop. I did a double Japanese knockout prop. Rikishi by knockout and Cordova by knockout. So that's that. This is, yeah. Ennis or Boots? What? Jerron, Ennis or Boots? I think you mean Xander Zayas or Boots. Oh, yeah, yeah. I know what you meant, bro. I can't wait to break this fight down. I mean, I'm not going to be one of these guys to sit here and tell you Boots is going to dog walk Xander. And I'm not going to be one of these guys off jump to say Boots is overrated and Xander's going to beat him. It's a compelling matchup. Like what I'm looking forward from a boxing purist perspective is a few game plan tactics, strategy. Will Xander be able to walk Boots down? Does Xander force Boots to box him? Will Boots have that type of power at 154 to walk Xander down? Will Boots be able to fight Xander's ego and force him to punch with him? The question, this is going to sound crazy. I have more questions regarding Xander. My bad. I have more questions regarding Boots than I do Xander. I know with the 23-year-old what I'm going to get. I've watched him and I've watched Boots his whole career. What I mean by that is he's a big 154. He's a kid who gets better with each fight. He's a very confident, unified world champion. If you guys don't know the relevance of being a world champion in boxing just from a psychological perspective, Jaron Ennis is the one psychologically who feels that people still doubt him. Jaron Ennis is the one who's never fought at 154. He has 90 seconds of experience at 154 fighting a guy nobody ever heard of in Usama Lima. No shade to Usama Lima. I think he was an IBO champ, but that's hardly a major sanctioning body. Boots is the one. Will his sort of athleticism and his reflex style, will he be able to get away with some of the things defensively that he gets away with at 147? Will Xander be able to find holes in that game at 154? Will Boots power carry at 154? I'm acting like the Usman Lima fight never happened because kind of it didn't. 90 seconds, maybe shorter. Then we have to go back to Stanionis, which he looked amazing at. But Stanionis isn't a big welterweight. That fight was at 147. Xander Zayas is going to be bigger than Jaron. So why does this matter? That matters a lot with strategy, the psychology of the fight, the landscape of the fight, where the fight takes place. That matters. Boots might not be able to get away with things that he gets away with against other fighters when he fought at 147. It's going to be interesting. The two fights with Karen Chukachin, I mean, I don't even like going. I'm not going to even have to go all the way there because that's a different version of Jaron. That's why there's more questions for me about Jaron than there are with Xander. What's up, blue collar? A little late to the party. Guys, we are 50 minutes in. We're floating between 50 and 70 in this live stream. It's our first live stream of the week. It's Monday, April 13th at 11 a.m. I go live here every day. So if you're new to the channel, I say welcome. Make sure you like this video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. Join our world famous Johnny Says Boxing professional betting Discord. All sports in there, individualized in separate channels with sharps in each one. That link is pinned. It's a couple bucks a month. Become a Patreon. Support the cause. Like the video. However you want to support, we appreciate you. There are fights in a few hours. I gave you guys a double for the Japanese fights. We just covered it. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see that ticket that I gave you on my story. It's also up on YouTube and in the Patreon for everybody. It's under the free game aspect of our business. Sportsbet in Australia isn't offering those bets, but Bet365 is. So be sure to check your books. Jay Voorhees, what do you think of Fury calling AJ? They want that fight. That's a generational wealth fight. I think both guys would be. We could say all we want. Everybody's gonna say it. You guys are hearing it from the regurgitated. We should have already seen this fight. This fight should have happened 10 years ago. Okay, you got a time machine? You got a time machine. I don't. You don't. So it's happening. I think it should happen sooner rather than later. It's gonna be a big money fight. It'll help each guy's families forever. I tune in. You'll tune in. We just tuned into Tyson versus Mount. Put it on Netflix. I ain't mad at it. I liked the production of Netflix, mate. The production was impressive. It's Netflix. It's a multi-billion-dollar multinational company. You know what I'm saying? You got your picks posted for the upcoming year. Yeah, they're up. There's fights for today. They're up. But not for this coming weekend. Thoughts on Josh Hokett? Do you wish there was any other? Boxing is filled with these personalities. Josh Hokett, man, if you guys don't know, Josh Hokett is a legit world-class athlete, man. This guy played in the NFL at running back. I'm not trying to bring, statistics or patterns in here, but you don't see a lot of white running backs in America. He played at Fresno State, a good Division I program. Made it to the league. Didn't get a roster position, but he made it on a practice squad. He was a fullback. Still a white running back. He wasn't like you know, McCaffrey type, but he was a bruiser, athlete. You got to be an athlete to play in the league. You got to be an athlete to play Division I football. You got to be an athlete to play Division I football in the backfield. And he was a wrestler. The dude's a stud. The dude's a beast. I don't know, if you guys ever been in an American football locker room, whether you're, 14 years old, 18 years old, 22 years old, these are different breeds. A gritty fullback. That mindset of a fullback is the same mindset of a catcher. So I'm going to use a baseball reference because I played baseball longer than any other sport. I played at a higher level, and so the catchers are the toughest dudes on the team. They're gritty as hell. They're always uncomfortable. They have to wear all that gear. They're squatting. The fullback is akin to the catcher, and gritty dog sort of type. And he wrestled dog type. You know what I'm saying? So this kid, he's been media trained. So if you guys are judging him on those antics, this is all pre-planned. This is and it paid off because his fighting speaks for itself, and he just changed his life with that performance against Curtis Blades. So I'm all for it. I don't the casual fans are gonna hate on him for what the shtick is, but that the real ones know that this dude is a real dude. And in this day and age of social media and clicks and virality, he this I look at this his antics as a business decision for his family. He knew he got to see like what Chael Sonnen did, and then what Colby Covington did, and what others attempted to do and are trying to do. And this is his own version, his own brand. The kid could fight. I think the boys just hit. Did you boys just hit on this? Ari and Andre Bonilla, Frankie Blue Eyes. For 8 fights, he is incredibly impressive. I agree. Let's see. I want to see something real quick. So we're gonna pull the veil back of our because I'm seeing people are messaging me about people hitting. You savages had fights. You guys had action this morning, didn't you? So, guys, this is our. If you're new to the Discord, this is where you post your bet slips. This is where you post your winning slips. This is our NBA channel. The NFL channel, obviously, the season's over. This is my fitness. This is hockey, soccer, baseball, tennis. The Aussies, we got NRL and we got AFL. We have NASCAR and motorsports, so F1. Off topic is like a community discussion. and boxing and MMA. Let's see what the boxing is going. Yeah, the boys are hitting. Rikishi, that fight's coming up. Win Santiago. This is Randall Light Cordova. So Randall Light just hit with Ari Bonilla minus 435. Armando Martinez Rabbi by KO. That hit. And then you need Sergio Cordova 100 plus. That's a nice little get back. That's a nice little get back. That's a start of the week get back. Let's go. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna wrap. If you want to get in the Discord, the link is pinned. In the Discord is separate service. Nah. So you join. There's two ways of entry: either joining on YouTube or joining on Patreon. You get access to the Discord. I'm keen. Yeah, we bet MMA. I'll show you the MMA channel real quick, Baku. So this is our MMA thread. I posted this morning because people were commenting in the group. They didn't realize who somebody was talking about Josh Hogan just being like an out of shape guy who talks a lot, and I had to share this. I was like, no, Josh Hogan is a legit athlete, dude. This dude knows what he's doing. Curtis Blades, man, tough. That was a hell of a. I'm gonna rewatch that fight. That was a crazy fight. Yeah, appreciate you, boxing fan. Guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. It is my Monday, so I'm working. I have 3 more clients today. I have to grab some lunch. You guys are the best. I appreciate everybody here. Stay tuned. We got a lot of work to do.